Part 1. Slave. Darrow is the helldiver of Lycos Lambda clan, a colony of Reds built under the surface of Mars that mines helium-3 as a fuel source for terraforming Mars for surface habitation by the other, higher-ranked colors. The colony is supervised by a security force of Greys and managed by Timothy C.U. Pogenus, a copper. Darrow's father was also a helldiver, but was hanged after performing a forbidden dance that he taught to Darrow. Darrow is married to Io, a beautiful girl who sees Reds as enslaved by the higher colors and wishes for a better, more equitable world. Just before Laureltide, a festival in which the Red clan with the highest helium-3 yield is rewarded with food and goods, Darrow risks death to surpass Lambda's quota and receives a nasty burn through his fry suit, but is sure he will bring home the laurel for Lambda. Despite his efforts, Lambda is snubbed in favor of the Gamma clan, as has always happened. Io sneaks Darrow to a window that views the surface of Mars, and they make love, but are caught upon return by Ugly Dan, captain of Lambda's Greys. They are sentenced to whipping. While taking their lashings, Io begins to sing the Reaping Song, a song that directly protests against the subjugation of Reds by Golds, the top caste in the color system. Io is sentenced to death by hanging by Mars' arch-governor, Nero Augustus. Due to the low gravity on Mars, Darrow must step forward and pull Io's legs to complete the hanging. Afterward, Darrow cuts down and illegally buries his young wife, a crime for which he too is punished by hanging. Uncle Narrell, his drunkard uncle, gives him some farewell swill and pulls his legs at the hanging. Part 2. Reborn. Inconceivably, Darrow awakens after his hanging. It is revealed that Uncle Narrell faked Darrow's death and delivered him to Dancer and Harmony, members of the so-called terrorist group the Sons of Ares, who are waging a guerrilla war on the society. The Sons take Darrow above ground, letting him to see for himself the lie he and all other low Reds have been fed for generations. They are not readying Mars for the rest of humanity to one day join them. It has been colonized for hundreds of years. The low Reds are simply slaves to the rest of the society. Promised vengeance for the death of his wife and the subjugation of the Reds, Darrow joins the Sons of Ares. Darrow is tasked with masquerading as a Gold and infiltrating the highest ranks of the society to bring it down from the inside. A violet carver, Mickey, gives Darrow the physical abilities and appearance of a Gold, while a pink named Matteo teaches him the culture and customs of the Golds. Darrow also befriends a pink named Evie, a dancer at Mickey's club, who nurses him back to health. Darrow's first test after his training is the entrance exam to the Institute, one of the Gold's most prestigious military schools. Darrow misses only one question on this exam and is admitted to the Institute. On his way there, he meets Julian Albalona, whose good nature makes him question whether his boundless hatred of Golds is correct. He also meets Severo Obaka, a small and antagonizing boy who reminds Darrow of his brother Kieran. During the draft, Darrow is the first to be picked for House Mars by Lorno Arcos, legendary Razor Master and the current Rage Knight. Darrow is 10th overall out of 1,200 of the best sons and daughters Gold has to offer. Darrow meets some of his housemates, his new friends from the bus, Julian and Severo, Julian's twin brother Cassius, Antonia O Severus Julii, Priam Ocan, Titus Oladros, and Roque O Fabii, among others. Darrow is jerked awake in the middle of the night, stripped naked, and beaten by two obsidians, who tear him out of bed and take him to a dark, stony room. Darrow is greeted by House Mars's proctor, Fitchner, who throws a House Mars ring into the center of the room and explains that only one person can walk out wearing it. This is the passage, the grisly second act of Institute initiation. Darrow's opponent, none other than Julian Albalona. Crying and terrified, Darrow kills Julian and puts on the ring. Part 3. Gold. The survivors realize that the passage matches the top 50 kids from every class with the bottom 50, in hopes of keeping the strongest in the game. Of course, there are always some upsets. Darrow notices Severo, drafted last into House Mars, as well as many other low drafts have made it through. Cassius becomes enraged with grief at the loss of his brother, but befriends Darrow, not knowing it was he who killed Julian. The remaining 50 Mars draftees meet up with Fitchner, who tells them that they will be given a fortress to go to war with the other 11 houses, and to win, they must make one house out of many, usually done by capturing slaves using the standard each house is given. Fitchner explains, however, that slaves are only bound by honor, and may rebel or disregard orders from their new house under only the consequence of dishonor. Students are not to kill unless it is inevitable or accidental. In an early encounter with another house, Darrow takes possession of a scythe, leading to his nickname, the Reaper. Due to rampant disagreement, House Mars quickly fractures into 4 tribes, one led by Titus, one by Antonia, one by Darrow and Cassius, and the last being Severo alone, who also appears to be the only student with the necessary skills to survive in the Institute wilderness, including starting fires and hunting. Darrow becomes good friends with Cassius and Roque, as well as Leia and Quinn, and insinuates to Cassius that Titus killed Julian. Relations in House Mars erode even further as violence breaks out between Darrow's faction and Titus's. Titus's tribe, with no access to fire or food, starts brutal raids and sieges on nearby House Ceres. Darrow's men, now evicted from their castle, witness the brutal tactics Titus uses, such as torture, rape, and murder. Unable to defeat Titus with the sliver of House Mars he controls, Darrow tricks Mustang of House Minerva and her mounted, fed, and well-equipped army into taking Mars Castle and imprisoning Titus and his men. During this raid, however, Darrow and Cassius are trapped in a freezing lake and surrounded by House Minerva, who are more than content to watch them freeze to death. Severo, who has been missing for some time, reappears clad in a wolfskin and rescues the two from the lake. He then serves as a crucial part in stealing House Minerva's banner and cook. Severo quickly becomes Darrow's most loyal lieutenant as they form and lead the Howlers, a group of low drafts who copy Severo's wolfskin attire. With Mustang now trapped in Mars's castle, Darrow wins a small skirmish with the Minervans and trades his new captives and captured the standard for Mars Castle and all its members, solidifying himself as the undisputed leader of the house. In parting, Mustang warns Darrow against another student much harder, smarter, and brutal than Darrow, currently wreaking havoc in the south, the Jackal. In talking to the captive Titus, Darrow realizes Titus is also red recarved as a gold, and allows Cassius to kill him to keep his own cover intact, leading to his troops' image of him as a flawed leader. He makes an alliance with House Diana to capture House Minerva's castle and troops, defeating Minerva's monstrous warrior Pax Otelemanus and enslaving House Diana after their attempted betrayal. During the destruction of Diana, their primus is killed by her own housemate, Tactus Ovali Wrath. Mustang escapes capture with her house's standard, and Darrow gives chase, ultimately finding her, but letting her escape in the wake of the bloodthirsty actions of Titus's retinue. Bribed by the Jackal, Antonia, along with Vixus and Cassandra, another of Titus's former allies, betray Darrow and try to kill him, but Darrow narrowly avoids this. In an attempt to lure him out, they capture and kill Leah in Raging Roque. Later, Cassius is given a holocube by the Jackal's lieutenant Lilath O'Faran that shows Darrow was the one to kill Julian. Furious, Cassius challenges Darrow to a duel. He defeats Darrow easily and leaves him to die, taking over as Primus of House Mars. Part 4. Reaper. Darrow is rescued and nursed back to health by Mustang, who has been in hiding with her standard since the fall of House Minerva. The two form an alliance and recruit wandering oathbreakers, slaves who chose to disobey orders and face the shame it will lead to outside of the Institute to their army. They do not recruit the oathbreakers as slaves, but as free people, with the aim of building an army bound by friendship rather than honor. During this time, Darrow figures out that the Jackal's real name is Adrius Augustus, the son of the Arch-Governor of Mars, the man who ordered Eo's death. The Institute's entire game is rigged in favor of Adrius, who also has many corrupt proctors defending and protecting him to ensure his success. With a few soldiers standing alongside them, Mustang and Darrow begin their rise in earnest by showing House Mars, and most crucially, Severo, that Darrow is still alive. They free some of House Mars' slaves, including Pax, and take others, such as Tactus, and then proceed to take House Ceres' fortress and all of their troops as slaves, to be freed upon proving their loyalty. That night, Darrow is awakened by the news that Tactus was caught attempting to rape a House Ceres girl. Learning from the mistake he made with Titus, Darrow first lashes Tactus, then has Pax lash Darrow's own back, saying that whatever crimes any member of the army commits are shared by all of them, instilling fanatic loyalty in all of his troops and instilling reverence of their reaper. Fitchner reveals that some of the proctors have considerable stake in the Jackal winning and will gladly kill Darrow if he gets in the way of his victory. Fitchner recommends Darrow keep his head down and just focus on surviving. Fitchner also lets slip that if a house is eliminated, the proctor must leave. Darrow takes this chance to attack Fitchner, throwing him in one of House Apollo's cells. Hoping to force the most dangerous proctors out, Darrow sets his sights on Apollo and Jupiter. Despite the proctor's attempts at stopping him, including poisoning food, releasing horses, loosing a carved bear onto him, and threatening his friends with death, Darrow takes House Apollo in a blitz attack that lasts less than an hour. Darrow's army moves to take House Jupiter, with the hopes of being able to focus fully on the Jackal with no proctors to sway the fight. They find little resistance at Jupiter's castle due to the bulk of the house's forces laying siege to Mars, and meet Lucian, the garrison leader. Darrow's men celebrate their victory with spirits, where Darrow reveals he knows that Lucian is in fact the Jackal. The Reaper reveals that his men are not at all drunk, and that Pax and Mustang are elsewhere in the castle cleaning up whatever troops the Jackal has hidden. Hoping to prove Golds are self-centered, weak creatures, Darrow asks Lucian whether he would cut off his hand to leave, as he had no problem eating his housemates to survive. To everyone's dismay, he actually removes his hand, and with the help of the corrupt proctors, who refuse to disengage and after their houses dissolved, he kills Pax and escapes. During the chase, Darrow kills Proctor Apollo and learns that the proctors have kidnapped Mustang. Enraged by the full depth of his feelings for Mustang, Darrow storms Mount Olympus, the floating residence of the proctors, with his army and the Howlers, and captures all of them, defeating Proctor Jupiter in the process. He sets Severo to editing the tape that is broadcast to the rest of outside world, and sends Mustang to capture the escaped Jackal, but learns from Fitchner that Mustang is actually Virginia Augustus, twin sister to the Jackal. Expecting a betrayal from Mustang, Darrow returns to House Mars with advanced weaponry from Olympus's armory to prepare to fight the combined might of the Augustus twins. The members of House Jupiter besieging Mars are easily defeated, and the members of House Mars flock to Darrow, including his friend Roque, who he had previously thought dead. Cassius declares a blood feud with Darrow over Julian's death, and swears the next time they meet, only one will leave. Mustang returns with a bound and naked Jackal, making Darrow our Andromedus, the Reaper of Mars, Arch-Primus of the Institute of Mars, and proving her loyalty to Darrow. With his newfound victory, making him a prime candidate for service to the best family houses on Mars, Darrow receives an offer from Lorne Oarkos to mentor him. However, Darrow accepts a position as a lancer for House Augustus and the Arch-Governor, knowing it will provide him with a better opportunity for his ultimate goal.